Okay, I'm back. I don't know what happened. It just crashed. Welcome back. Yay! Just cracked my back. That was awesome. Um, Speaking of Alex, do you think I should make another Discord? Another as in again? I will, but only if you think I should. And it would be a super basic server. Or why not? Not very enthusiastic. Hey, Twitch lurkers. Did I make another one? Fake viewers. Did I make a Discord server? If I'm fishing for a yes, that's because I am. Yeah! Alright, okay, cool. I'll figure that out. You'll be my first moderator, just like it on YouTube. My first and only one. Oh, shit. I kind of forgot where I was now. I feel like I got all worked up. But yeah, I guess I'm looking for feedback and it's hard. I think I'm definitely streaming at a time where a lot of people are kind of in your boat where they're not really wanting to do a bunch of chatting. They just kind of want to chill and listen. Which totally understandable. I'm the same way. I tend to watch YouTube on my TV. So anytime I feel like, oh, I want to participate in chat, I have to log in on my phone really fast or get on my computer really quick. And even then, when I chat, it's like they didn't even see it. You've always streamed at 1 a.m. Why not do it a little earlier? I would, but I have kids. Assholes take up so much time. Also, I don't know if you can tell, I'm in my room, my bedroom. There's really not a lot of space. for me to stream anywhere. So before, when I would do it super late, it's because I was in like my living room. So everyone was already upstairs and already in bed. That was like the place that made sense. But my living room now is full of clutter and there's nowhere for me to be able to stream. So I decided, like, well, I want to stream, so I'll just do it in my room, my bedroom. But then that limits, like, limits me in other areas. So I could stream during the day, but I'd have to get a babysitter. Difficult. So then my alternative is waiting until the kids go to bed. And then I still have to like eat dinner and boring things nobody really cares about. But yeah, I think depending on what kind of engagement I get, um, I could start streaming earlier or even like during the day, but I would have to like be able to justify it, you know? Like if I was monetized, that'd be super easy because I'd be like, look, I can earn money doing this. So like watch my kids. Um, which like on Twitch, I don't really know how it works, but I'm nearly on track to be an affiliate. I don't really know what that means, like what an affiliate does. I was just thinking on the YouTube side when I scroll shorts, random streams pop up sometimes and it seems like a bunch of people find streams or true, streaming earlier might get you people from that. I think affiliate is where you get ads. So like you have to meet four requirements. One is you have to reach 25 followers, which done. I think I'm at like 77. You have to stream 4 days a month, which I've already done that, I think as of yesterday. You have to stream at least 4 hours a month, and I've already done that. And then the fourth requirement is you have to have a minimum of 3 average viewers on 4 different days. And I haven't met that at all. I think my average uh viewers on Twitch is 2. But kind of like we were talking about, if I didn't do it so late, probably would be a lot easier to obtain. Also, if I told people I was streaming, that might help. Like I have an Instagram, but that's what Discord is gonna do. So, and then on Kick, I'll bump it to 3 on Twitch. Oh, thank you. On Kick, I was actually monetized to earn like subscribers um on Kick before I took a break, and then I think I just like lost all of it. So, oh no, wait, I think I still can. So to monetize my Kick channel, I have to reach a total of 10 subscribers in 30 days, but gifted subs don't count. Um, I have to, this is to get verified. I have to reach an average of 50 viewers in the last 30 days, and I've averaged 1.46. Wow. Hang with my community. I have to stream for a total of 15 hours in the last 30 days. And in the last 30 days, I've done almost 7. And then I have to have 100 unique chatters. So far, I've had 10. And that's just to verify. Oh, so I've officially reached creator status. So I can, so I have subscriptions enabled. So the next one is the path to verification, which I have no idea what that means. And then the next one is a path to partner. Hello. So, yeah, kind of like you were saying, I would stream more often too. Like if I could do every day, I would. Cuz like I said, I enjoy it. I need to get a little bit more organized on topics. Now you've got another Twitch viewer. Woohoo! Killing it. And I have another chatter. That counts. That's some type of achievement, I'm sure. Oh, you know what? Yes, please converse in chat. Oh my gosh. Um, yeah, if I can do a better job on like organizing my thoughts and like having what do they do? Like a docket of topics to cover during stream, that would probably help. I would just need to put a little bit more thought and planning into it. But like I said, if I'm able to kind of justify that, it's a little bit easier. Oh no, I'm getting. At least it's not 1 a.m. though. Like I did start streaming at 10, which that's pretty early for me. Not gonna lie. Um, streaming when I was doing it like 1 a.m. to like 4 a.m., that was rough. I don't even know how I had chatters around that time. Yeah, it's 1:32 for you. Yeah. Oh my god. So it was hella late for you if you were up when I was streaming. I mean, it's hella late for you now, but yeah, where are these freaks who are on so late? I'm gonna change my stream title because now that we've talked about that stuff, I'm like done thinking. I guess it makes sense though, if you're like a night owl and you're looking for something to watch online, kind of slim pickings. The later it gets, like during the day, you have like an abundance of options. There's like 4 live streams during the day that I could watch at any given moment of like creators that I follow. And sometimes they're talking to each other. So I just pick one and I can hear all of them. It probably helped too, because back then we would talk about kind of random social topics. People would want to give their input on. See, that's where me organizing my thoughts art. I can't remember what was happening back. Yeah, me either. Maybe I was less boring. Who knows? I do have some ideas when it comes to like React content. I know that tends to be pretty popular, but I don't even know where to like how to build like an overarching segment or just something out of that. My gosh. Have you heard of proximity chat? Like not the concept of proximity chat, the YouTuber proximity chat. Don't think so. Oh my god. Okay. So, there's this guy. He goes into I just discovered him and I've binged like I don't know how many videos. He goes into random VR instances and just like listens in on people's conversations and uh, kind of trolls a little bit. And he's done it so much that he's developed like a level of notoriety and reputation that now like people expect him or look for him or try and like kick him from their VR chats. And he does a lot of like the furry stuff, which I no offense to furries, but a lot of weirdos in that community that aren't helping your cause. So, see, but like I watch a lot of really weird stuff, just like generally, that if I reacted to it on stream would probably be interesting, but not overwhelmingly related to like a single topic or even politics traditionally. But it is fascinating and cringy. Like there was one I watched today where the dude there was a guy in there who said he was like possessed by a demon, but like not in the VR chat, like in real life. And it's like, oh man, you don't want to mess with me when I'm dealing with my demon possession. Oh my god. And there's another one. So like there's this thing called phantom sense where if you do things in VR, the person can like feel the phantom sensation of it in real life, which to a certain degree I can imagine. Like if you spend so much of your time in VR, imagining someone like grabbing your hand or something like that, like you could probably, your brain could probably make you feel it. There was a woman who had phantom allergies. So she was allergic to tomatoes in real life. And so someone in the VR instance started throwing tomatoes at her and she like pretended to go into like anaphylactic shock, having an allergic response to being thrown tomatoes in VR as a furry. Yeah, I don't know. Pretty crazy, pretty crazy stuff. Oh my god. What's other weird things I watch? Well, I could react to some like law stuff. I am a little bit of a law nerd. I love like um court cases and legal proceedings and reading court documents. I find all that stuff fascinating. And it helps explain so much when you go to like the original source to get the information and understand the material. And there's so many bad lawyers on YouTube that, like, they don't know shit. They don't know anything, and they talk like they're experts. Like, they know some stuff, okay? But, like, they talk about the law like they know everything, and they don't. It's embarrassing. There's this concept in law called pro hac vice, and essentially what it is it allows a lawyer from another state to practice law to represent a client in a different state. And essentially, the new state has to have a practice that they can be represented by, almost kind of like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a temporary representative of their um law practice. So if I live in Colorado and I want to hire a lawyer out of California, that's fine. They have to appear pro hac vice in Colorado, meaning a Colorado law firm has to host them so they can practice law legally here for me. Now, if I'm doing that, I'm paying for one lawyer. I'm not paying for them and a separate um, attorney who's hosting them. That would make no sense. People wouldn't do that if that was the case. Like, that'd be so expensive. Your average lawyers, depending on how skilled they are going to make like roughly $300 to $500 an hour for the work that they do. So two of them? No. No, thank you. But there was a fucking law tuber, somebody who practices law, couldn't even say pro hac vice correctly, which is a legal term. Didn't understand the concept of it and falsely represented to their audience that the person who had a lawyer appear pro hac vice was paying for two law firms because they didn't understand the concept. And it's like, you're a lawyer. You represent yourself as a legal expert, and I'm not even a lawyer, and I know more than you. I'm just rambling at this point. But yeah, I'm like a total law nerd when it comes to that stuff. I also think just like legal terminology in general is so interesting. Like, there's this legal concept called fruit of the poisonous tree. And essentially, if during the course of an investigation, if you find evidence that you want to use against somebody um, during the course of like a crime that you were looking into them for, there is a concept called fruit of the poisonous tree, where if you fucked up in procedure before you found that evidence or before they may have confessed something to you, it could get thrown out because you either like wrongly arrested them, didn't Mirandize them, something during the criminal or civil procedure was done incorrectly. So now any evidence that you had collected after that is just no good. It's fruit of the poisonous tree. I love that. I love that saying. But it was funny. I was watching um I guess you'd call it like cop slop. There was this guy who fell asleep in his car and oh, did he fall asleep in his car? No, no, this guy started getting road rage and he started following the guy who he was raging at and ended up calling the cops on him. Well, the guy who he was road raging at was like an off duty police officer. And so the cops show up and decide that they're gonna arrest the guy who was like the road rager because he was um basically at fault in like causing traffic issues. And while they were um like questioning him, they had him like step out of his car. It was very clear that this guy was under the influence. And then later they discovered that he was high on meth. And he tried to say that because they had no probable cause to pull him over, even though he was like the perpetrator of like road rage and called the cops on the other guy himself, that him telling them that he was high on meth and them finding like a crack pipe in his vehicle was fruit of the poisonous tree. And it's like, babe, no, that is not how that works. Oh shit. Think maybe tomorrow I'll work on a Discord server. Yeah, losing steam. I think I remember hearing about a case of someone being investigated for child material, and an investigator went out of scope and accidentally opened Chrome on their laptop, and the case was thrown out because of it. That's totally possible, which, how awful would that be, right? Like, your fuck up could cost a case that sensitive and that, like, potentially heinous. Yeah. Even if, like, that specific instance you don't remember exactly, I'm sure that that's happened. There's just no way it hasn't. Ironically, though, the lawyers who I do find the most reliable in terms of their, knowledge are the ones who are active litigators. Like, they're practicing in court, and so they have to have, like, that knowledge fresh in their mind. I think they were only allowed to search his files as they were accidentally. Oh, yeah. See, and that reminds me of a case I was just learning about recently where this guy, um I totally remember when this happened, it was a couple of years ago. This guy was at, like, a Walmart or something, and a woman was there with her children, and one of her kids was, like, about to fall out of the cart or, like, the basket, and the guy caught the kid so he didn't fall and, like, put him back with the mom or in the basket. She was like, "Oh, thank you." Like, she was totally fine. And then after the dude, like, paid for his shit and left the store, she called the cops on him and was like, "This guy tried to kidnap my son, and I had to wrestle him back from this man, and I wanna press charges." And so the, they get a grand jury to indict the guy, and they failed to show the, security footage of the store that completely exonerates him and shows that he didn't do anything wrong, and that he like, she was basically spreading false allegations. And so he got a lawyer, and the lawyer wanted to obtain it, like, during discovery, the security footage from the store, and even though it was owed to her by from the DA, they wouldn't hand it over. And so she's like, "Hmm, that's kinda weird." So she subpoenaed the security footage from the store itself, and the DA tried to quash it with their own motion, which also hella suspicious, right? But she finally got the footage, and it like I said, if you watch it, you would be hard pressed to draw the conclusion that this man was trying to kidnap this child. And so she saw it, released the footage to the public. There was just like mass outrage, and the case got dropped. And this dude spent, I'd have to look it up. I don't remember his name. He spent something like 47 days in jail because a woman falsely accused him, knowingly falsely accused him of trying to kidnap her child. And this dude was Indian, so he was held without bail, and he was considered a flight risk because they thought he would just leave the country. I just like, and so what his lawyers had said, um, is that he was lucky he had such a good attorney because they think that if he had gotten like a public defender or somebody who wasn't as well versed in the law, that they might not have been as persistent in getting um the the things that he needed to exonerate him when they did. And one of the things that they did to him while they kept him in jail was they seized his cell phone to go through his cell phone. And um the lawyers, his current attorneys who are suing, I think the city, um and the woman who falsely accused him, obviously. Um they think that their running theory is that they held onto his phone and looked through it, and their claim was there could be evidence of a kidnapping on there. So that was their probable cause to like s- search and seize what is yeah, search and seize the phone. And I think the attorneys were like, well, they probably were just going to try and look for something else they could catch him on. That way, even if they had to lower, um, the charges or make a deal for something lower, they could come at him and say, "Well, it doesn't matter that you weren't completely guilty for this because we found you guilty of this other thing." And it's like, how fucked is that? This guy did nothing wrong, and he spent like more than a month in jail for doing nothing because some bitch wanted the attention or something. I would be so pissed. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you for listening to me ramble. Gotta hope he gets paid at the end of it. Yeah, you know what? I'll follow the case and I'll keep you posted on what happens. Because how horrible, right? It's just ridiculous. People are so ridiculous. I can't stop yawning. Okay, I'm gonna log off. I don't know how to send people places, so on my eye. I'm just gonna like end the stream, and that's how that will work. But thank you for chatting. I love you so much. You're so wonderful. Thank you for lurking if you just listened to me ramble for 2 hours. And next time I stream, hopefully I'll have a Discord server so that I can like let people know when I'm or take suggestions for stuff to cover. Um but yeah. Okay. Thanks. Love you. Bye.